This that I got it. Because I'll be the first one to walk out.
Good evening, everyone. We're gonna wait just a couple of more minutes. For those of you joining us on Zoom, traffic has been a little disrupted this evening by a visit by the vice president. So I think people are still trickling in. So we'll give it a few more minutes. For those of you who drove and parked, if you got a ticket, what you'll do when you leave is insert the ticket, and then this has a barcode on it, and you'll just scan that barcode, and that should let you out of the garage.
Really? Yeah.
Well, their operation
Right.
is closed. They made that.
Good evening again. That's unmute. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining us again. I think we have maybe one more person who will be coming in. I call this meeting of the Union Pier Stakeholder Advisory Committee to order, noting that the meeting notice has been posted and the press notified as required by the Freedom of Information Act. Joining us today are committee members who I would like you to go around and just say your name and who you're representing.
Doug Warner, Cultural.
Winslow Hasty, Historic Charleston Foundation.
I have my mouth full. Went through City of Providence. I mean, City of Providence. Oh, I knew it. I knew it. I'm talking about where I was born, the City of Charleston.
Josh Dix with the Charleston Realty.
Great, huh?
Cincinnati Realty.
Jerry Shower of Anson Borough Neighborhood Association.
Barbara Melvin, Ports Authority.
Edward McKelvey, South State.
Vince Lamar, Gadsden Borough Coalition.
Brian Turner, Preservation Society of Charleston.
LaQuita Bryan Jenkins, Planning Commission.
Not able to make it this evening is Marvetta Daniels. I think Brian Derberry will be joining us and maybe running a little late from the chamber. And also Bill Brenitzer, hopefully I said that, is sitting in online in place of Faith Rivers with the Coastal Conservation League. So
I'm here.
you have previously been provided with copies of the minutes of the last committee meeting, which occurred on September 18th, 2023. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, Josh and then LaQuita.
All in favor?
Is there any discussion?
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Great, so the motion to approve the minutes from September 18th have been made and seconded, and there being no further discussion, we'll now vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Now we will proceed with our agenda for today.
One more. Good evening, everyone. Good to see everybody. For those in the, I'm Bob O'Neill, and I'm with the Riley Center as well. We just want to revisit the committee charge. We'll probably show this each time just to remind everybody of what you had agreed upon as your particular role. I'm not going to go through it, obviously, but if anybody has, at least at this point, any changes or modifications you want to, this is the time to discuss it. Okay, hearing none, go to the next item. And these were the ground rules you agreed to as a committee. Hopefully these are still consistent with the way you view your relationship with each other and as the group. So any changes to those? Hearing none, we'll move on.
Then you can timeline. So
Yeah. So this is the timeline that you saw at the last meeting, and we added two elements after conversations with city staff. Those had to do with tax increment financing and the municipal improvement district and where those will fit on the schedule. So they will be aligned with the approvals for the plan unit development. So you can see they sort of fit in sequence with those two elements. So that's the schedule as we go today. Any questions? Yes.
Knowing that we're gonna be bringing in a whole new team that's gonna have, financial expertise, in public-private partnerships and everything else, are we still 100% sure that a TIF and a mid are definitely going to happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if, that were a foregone conclusion or, okay.
It's not, but we wanted to get it on the calendar in case it was going to happen, so that
Fair enough.
when we, there's and most of you probably are familiar based on the last process, there's dates that are key if you're going to do it that you need to meet. So we want to make sure that it was on the calendar. But that will be a determination made after the master plan is done and what might be the financial options available based on that master plan. Okay. Okay.
we just wanted to give you a brief update on the outreach efforts that have been going on to date. Mostly what we have been meeting with people about has been focused on education regarding the new process, lots of people have asked to meet with us. Ally and I have met with had over 100 meetings with several hundred people over the last 2 months at request. We haven't yet started working on our proactive outreach, which we anticipate doing as soon as we have a planner on board. And so we've also been working, of course, closely with the city planning on their efforts, meeting with them regularly to ensure that our outreach efforts will align with their outreach efforts. So we're all on one big collaborative electronic board where we're putting different dates on for different things. We did have representatives from our small team. Bob, Ally, or I were at the different city meetings regarding the Peninsula Plan. And there were, of course, many people there interested with questions around Union Pier and what was happening with this space. And so we were able to explain that process. We've gone to a few neighborhoods when we've been asked to come and speak with them. But once again, we start doing more engagement, we will be seeking all of the neighborhoods as well as creating on the bottom this community engagement council where more neighborhoods will have representation on that group. So more neighborhood leadership, particularly from those downtown, but not exclusively. And that'll be more of an opportunity for people to provide more focused input into the planning, into the plan itself. We've also met with a number of different leaders of advocacy and nonprofit groups that we also anticipate will be represented on the Community Engagement Council, folks who have been active in the process to date. The court, in conjunction with Ally, have rebooted the website. So you can always point people to, Ally, what's the address?
UnionPierSC.com.
Thank you. UnionPier.sc. UnionPierSC.com, sorry, yes. I always want to edit, you got it. And in addition, Ally has been coordinating. Many of you all who are with organizations have kindly agreed to allow your communications rep. Ally had a meeting with them recently so that we can make sure that we're getting lots of information out to lots of folks. And so thank you to those of you who have been engaging in that as well. And we anticipate leaning heavily on that team once we really start doing more outreach and engagement and helping get the word out. When Barbara and I met with Mayor Tecklenburg 2 weeks ago to give an update and talk about the timeline, that was when he suggested we add the tip and mid. And so following that, Bob and I met with the city CFO, Amy Wharton, as well as their,
Jeremy Cook.
yes, what is his title though?
He's outside council.
Outside, I was gonna say your bond guy, but that wouldn't have been, yes, with their outside counsel to talk about what that process would look like. And they are ready to engage with the team we hire whenever that's appropriate, and looking forward to helping on that. So in 2 weeks, city council, we are just going to go to give a brief update as to what has been going on with the process so far. So any questions on outreach efforts? Again, if any of you in the room or anybody online would like for us to come and talk to different groups, I know Vince has invited us to his neighborhood consortium we've spoken to. We're always happy to do that. So please just reach out if you're interested. A few other updates regarding the city planning, and I did reach out to Robert and Dale and all of the other planning folks to ask if anybody wanted to come, and they said that enough has not happened yet. They anticipate coming probably in December to give us more updates, but they each asked me to update you on some things. Last week, I met with the team that the city has hired to work on the water plan, and we walked Union Pier, and I learned an awful lot about water and nature that I didn't know. And so they had a lot of great questions. We have since also connected them with the work that has already been done by the engineers, and they're right now really in knee deep in data and information and reviewing all of that. And so I think it's great. I think there were 12 or 13 people there that day walking around from 4 different firms. So a lot of expertise and knowledge, I think, we going into this. So that is really on track. Last night at City Council, Rick, the Peninsula Plan Contract Amendment was approved. I put that on there before I double checked, but I figured someone would let me know that. So that work will begin soon, or do you have anything, Rick, you'd like to update on that? No.
No, I mean, they're ready. I mean, now that we've got the contract approved, we're ready to go.
Okay, great. So they were all lined up and ready to go, and now the official word has been given, so they can do that. Some of you, how many of you, any of you attend? I know I saw a few of you, the Peninsula Plan Engagement Efforts. Yeah, I saw a number of folks there, and they had over 200 people who participated in their 3 days, multiple events. You know, as I mentioned, we all attended and thought there was a lot of really good information collected. There are 4 core focus areas with this plan: water first, which we've talked about, design, neighborhood design, economic development, and mobility and connectivity. So this is what they asked to share. And for people who would like more information, the best way to stay in the loop on these plans and what's happening is through the website, www.charleston-sc.gov/plan-charleston. And you can also email peninsulaplan@charleston-sc.gov to stay updated. Any questions, Winslow?
Just going back,
I'm
there's
sorry.
4 principles, the water first, yeah, those, the core folks there. Just to be clear, that's for the Peninsula
Peninsula
Plan,
Plan,
correct?
correct.
Not for the waterfront development district land use category that they're gonna be working on.
No, that is for the Peninsula
Okay.
Plan.
So they have not yet, because the contract just got, so it takes time. So they have not yet established sort of what those 4 focus areas are going to be for that.
That I
Is that
know,
correct? Yeah,
I don't,
They've been working. on it, but I
Right.
think they finally-
they have, yeah, and they haven't shared that with us. So.
One thing that got my attention the other day was on the planning committee's agenda, and I noticed that they're looking at amending the Heights District in the Old City Height District and possibly going to 8 to 12 feet. And I also sent a note over to the Peninsula group to say, are you aware of this and how does this fit in? And of course, they're still in the formative stages, so they haven't even had this on their blip screen, but to me, I'm kind of wondering, where's the cart and where's the horse? If we're redoing the Peninsula Plan and that's driving everything, how is the Planning Commission proposing such a major change before you finish your
Well, they're not
Peninsula?
proposing it, they're considering it.
Okay,
It's Courier Square 3.
okay.
It's the project that's at King and Line.
Oh, okay, yeah,
That's the
that's
project.
specific to that area.
Specific to that.
Thank you, Rick. Okay.
yeah, and I mean, the planning commission has to work with the adopted plans that they have at that time.
Mhm.
So they can't just freeze, I mean, it would be nice sometimes, it's good, do that, but again, just freeze development proposals while you're in that planning effort, but yeah, it's an interesting one. That's a different.
That one is not ours.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And Bob is gonna come up, and I'm sorry, I know everyone in this room knows me, but I didn't introduce myself again online. I'm Kendra Stewart, Director of the Riley Center at the College of Charleston.
So again, we've been hard at work on the consultant solicitation process. Again, this was the criteria that we reviewed with you and you supported. We did send the solicitation to all of the firms that were referenced to us. We actually had some others who obviously had been following this process. So a number of firms received it. The solicitation was due back on the 22nd. We received a number of really good proposals, so we're in the process of reviewing those, and then we want to share that with you tonight in executive session and get your guidance. So we go to the next one. So here's the We met on the 28th with the technical committee, that's what we call ourselves. It was the staff from the Riley Center, from the planning staff, and from the Port Authority. We went through all of the proposals, went through each of your criteria, as well as then did a subsequent ranking based on all of that evaluation from each of the folks who were involved in it. And then obviously we shared with you the proposals that we received, so you had a chance to look at those prior to this meeting. And then, tonight we hope to then go through those with you in detail, based on the technical rankings that we had, and then get your feedback on those and determine what the next steps are going to be. So we need to share that. However, in executive session, since there is some proprietary information that obviously, I think the firms would, rather not share with everyone until you've made a decision about which direction you want to go.
So at this time, the committee needs to go into executive session. So do I hear a motion to resolve the advisory committee into executive session for the purpose of discussion of negotiations incident to proposed contractual arrangements and proposed purchase lease of property?
So moved. Second.
Doug, and sorry, who said second? Josh, thank you. Okay, great. So at this time, only members of,
Just in terms of discussion, it was brought to my attention that it's sort of the boilerplate here refers to proposed purchase / lease of property. And I just was hoping you all can clarify for the record for people watching from afar that the true purpose of our executive session is to discuss these proposals and not
right,
the purchase lease
contractual
of
agreement
property.
arrangements. Yeah, sorry,
That's all.
we
No,
won't be
that's all.
selling any
Yeah.
property while we're in executive
That's what I
session.
thought.
That's- No, this is the boilerplate language from state FOIA
Got it.
law, and the one that our attorneys felt like best fit the conversation. So it will be more to look at the proposed contractual
Thank you,
arrangements. So yes, no, thank you. So we had it. So at this time, thank you, only the committee members, the Riley staff, tech, IT, and our attorney shall remain in the meeting. So, and we will for those of you who are on Zoom, you'll be put on to hold, or you'll see the slide for executive session, which is the next slide.
All in favor?
Oh, I'm sorry, thank you. In favor of going into executive session? Any opposed? Okay. For those of you on Zoom, we will be coming back, so you're welcome to wait online until you're readmitted into the public session.
By the way, Kendra, I wanted to thank you so much for all that
Let the record show that no action was taken.
I have that. However,
Where's your lawyer?
no, I'm looking to see, is anybody still out there? Thank you for remembering that, Ally.
It was Erica. Give me credit.
Do we, take a vote if we want to make a recommendation?
I think we have to go and get an out of executive.
Right, no, that's, yeah.
That we,
We have been named.
Yeah, so out of executive session, the advisory committee will proceed with negotiations is the stop.
But I need someone to make a motion. for
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
don't we have to take a vote? No, to do that or no?
Yeah, well,
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, somebody will make a motion and then we'll vote on that.
are we good? Okay. Welcome back from the executive session. Let me see if anybody has a motion.
But let the record show that there's no action taken.
Oh, sorry, let the record show, please. No action was taken in executive session. Thank you. However, I think we're gonna have a motion.
Make a motion that we move forward with Stocky.
Second.
Okay, let the record show that a motion has been made by Josh Dix to move forward. And Rick Giroux seconded the motion, so, to move forward with, doing a negotiation with Sasaki, one of the proposals that were made. And we will be providing more information on the proposals, first thing tomorrow. We'll update and let folks know information on who sent in proposals and the firm that we're moving forward. So based on the recommendation of this committee, the Riley Center will.
We need to vote. on this.
I need discussion. Thank you. Call for a vote. All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. Let the record show it was unanimous and we are finished with business tonight. Any other new business before we wrap up? Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Okay, Laquita, move to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
And Brian seconded. All right, thank you all. We will be in touch. All in favor, say aye. We're gonna make you. Obviously, right? Fast enough.